Have all these different abilities to style our hair in ways that others can't. And as a Black person, it's just liberating. It's very liberating, you know. They've been rude. Your name is Toby, and it's a Kunta Kinte. Hit them harder. No, your name is Toby. Like, they've been trying to separate us from us, but they can't separate me from me. They just can't, because this is a perfect example of how they can't separate me from me. Even though I've never been in Africa in my life, they can't separate the fact that this is something that you associate with Africa in some way or another. So even in the most simplest ways, you can't separate me from me, my culture from me, my history from me, you know.
I mean, they're still twists, so like, people are like, oh, so what are you doing with your hair? Oh, okay, that's new. Or they'll be like, I like it. You know how their voice goes high when they really don't like it? I'm like, thanks. I don't know, I mean, I know this is like a long journey process. It's a self journey. It's not just about hair. So I'm taking whatever I get.
People normally say that they like my braids. I never really got into any backlash. Although last year for my senior pictures, I wanted to get braids. And my mom was like, no, you should get your hair straight. Don't get braids. I was like, no, I want braids. So like when I did get them, she was like kind of upset. But I'm like, why? Like, you're making it seem like that because I had braids, you know, the pictures can't come out nice. You know that I can't style them and look elegant.
As a child, I actually had a couple of different hairstyles. When I was like a toddler, I had my hair like slicked back with a little poof at the end, so people said I kind of looked like Steven Seagal with the hairstyle.
Oh, okay.
But then she just started doing low Caesars, you know, and I had a ponytail. And because I'm tender-headed, oh, it hurt. Our next door neighbor thought my mom was like committing a crime because I would scream so loud. And then she would tell our neighbor, I'm just combing his hair. He's like, they'd be like, oh, he's really tender-headed then. And she'd be like, yeah.
Let's see, as a child, I have an older sister. We're really close in age. We're like 15 months apart. So we always did our hairstyles together. So even when it was really ugly, which it was, a lot of the times my mom would do like that beehive hairstyle you put under weaves with the one braid sticking out the top, but we didn't wear any weaves. It was just like that hairstyle, and that was the ugliest one, I think. But we did it all the time, and she would call it alpha alpha. But like, since it was just within our house, we thought it was cute, so we would always wear it. Just a mistake.
My mom would always style my hair in like little pigtails, like little twists or like puffs, things like that. I liked my hair when I was young. I think I ever complain about it.
It's just hair, like, do what they want. I was wearing weaves for the longest time, and it's like, a white hairstyle, I guess you would say? Is there, I mean, it's not a white hairstyle, but like, I know there's a difference between just wearing it and just to wear it and being praised for wearing it. I mean, like, people like Kim Kardashian and everything, like, oh, like, I can't put too much stock in that stuff because it's just gonna drive me crazy.
As I've gotten older and like now, you know, the whole natural vibe is like into effect, I do feel like it's more than just hair. Like I feel like if I have my braids or like if I have like a wash and go or like a nice braid out, I feel like unique. You know, like how like your hair pattern is different from others. Like, you know, like I feel like your hair kind of like tells a story about you. Like what you are, what your race is, your background, things like that.
Not exactly, because over the past maybe 4 or 5 years, I've really understood that the way that hair equates to people's cultures, their religions, their points of views in general, it all is a part of how they wear their hair, you know. A lot of the times when you're doing interviews, people notice you, you know, because of a lot of things. You can be dressed in a nice suit, but if your hair's not kept, they look at that because you could always change your clothes, but like, you know, your hair is really a part of you. So yeah.
Yeah, well, okay, I put my hair in braids once a year. Mostly because of the whole protective styling. Also, I just love my braids. I love how long they are, what I can do with them. And they're really easy to manage.
I decided to wear my hair in locks because I didn't know what to do with my hair, and I was just like, I would say, I'm not gonna put my hair in twists again, because I would wear twists, those twists that I did for you, I would wear them for like years and years, and every time I took it out, I would say, okay, I'm just gonna do something different. But then I get lazy and put them back in, and they're like, they kind of have that lock look. So I'm like, okay, let me just do this, because I wear this style anyway, and I mean, it's just hair, so if I really don't like the locks after a while, I could cut them off or take them out, I don't know. I'm not thinking that deep into the future, but yeah, this seemed like the next right move for me.
Like, I had twists before, so why don't I just do that again? Because I like how those look. And I did, and then I stopped, and then, because I got them in January of 2012 is when I started it initially, and then about maybe a few weeks, maybe a month after, I had washed them out. But yeah, I just want to do something different, and after realizing or over time, after realizing the importance of it, it's just like, well, yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, people who do know me, no. People who don't know me, definitely.
I don't believe that I'm perceived differently when I wear my braids because, you know, like, they're just normal braids. They didn't really have any, like pop-out color to them. But, like, females who I've seen who do wear color braids, I kind of, like, you know, view them as, like, being artsy and daring. I guess, like, maybe depending on, like, what you do with your braids, it makes people perceive you differently.
I was really worried because I started a new job in the beginning of December, and I got my locks in like at the end of November, so like a week and a half apart. And so I was worried that, like, well, I really wanted to make sure that I secured the job before I got my locks, because if perception is everything, you know, like if they think I'm gonna be a good candidate, but my locks are gonna deter them from ever putting me in meetings because they don't like the way that I look, then that was something that was on my mind. So I made sure that, if everything worked out according to plan, that I would get the job before I got my locks, and it did. And so I didn't know how I would wear it, so I just was putting it up and stuff like that. And then one day I wore it down, sort of. My boss was like, "Oh, your hair's different." Yeah.
I think what keeps me confident is, I think maybe my dad.
Dad.
Again, like, he's always giving me some life speech about life, like.
Dad? Papa?
I think that what keeps me loving who I am is the notion that I can wake up tomorrow and be a better me. I don't have to be who I was. Like, whatever mistakes I made today, whatever things I did today that I didn't want to do, or vice versa, that I could just change that tomorrow.
I struggle with that internally, with confidence.
I'm ugly and I'm proud.
Good! Say it louder.
I'm ugly and I'm proud.
Louder.
I'm ugly and I'm proud.
So at the end of the day, it comes back to remembering who I am, and remembering that the faith I have in God makes me the man I am.
Well, I think one of my self-love practices is going outside with my natural hair and my glasses. Like, normally if I wear, like, my hair natural, I have to feel like I have to wear makeup. But I'm like, if I don't care, if I'm going to work, just not recently, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna just go to work with my natural hair and glasses and still feel fine.
Positive affirmation. I am are the two most powerful words, you know, together. Anything you say after that or you think after that, like basically is internalized in such a way that people don't really understand. It's on such a subconscious level.
The biggest discipline that I think leads to my self-love is the way that I think about others, the way that I treat others. You know, sometimes it's really easy, especially in New York City, all these people are always around. It's easy to just like pop off if somebody says something or does something or brushes you the wrong way. But I think my biggest one is just kind of like saying it's not about them, you know, like you just have to act in a different way so you don't let those things affect you.
Self-love is confidence and persistence. I feel like, you know, when I'm persistent in what I want and how I want to make myself feel, I can feel better by myself.
Self-love is like a new song that you hear. Where if you hear it in a commercial, if you hear it on the radio, if you hear it anywhere, self-love is like a new song. That part that grabs you and you're just like, I need to know more about this song.
Self-love to me is accepting who you are and believing in yourself enough to be who you want to be.
Even better than I was the last time, baby. Ooh, 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 ooh.
We back.
Are you nervous?
Yeah, just make sure you're paying.
From Nana.
Yeah, I love Nana. I love Nana. Girls, Nana, we love you. If you ever see this, we love you, Nana.
Alright, let me see your guitar. Like just the